Hey, good morning everyone. So I thought I would do a wee video for those of you that didn't manage to make the meeting last week about discursive writing, and also it'll be a kind of look back for those of you that were there if you needed to sort of, if you weren't sure about what you were doing. So discursive essay is your second folio piece. There's no choice. Well, there is a choice. That's not right. Yeah. Okay, so again. Discursive writing is your second folio piece. It has to be 1,000 words, same kind of thing. And this shouldn't freak you out because we've already done some preparation in S3 for this. Okay, so we remember last year we looked at those comparative essays. Some of you did Spider-Man, some of you did animal testing. It's the same kind of idea. You have arguments for and arguments against. Okay, so discursive writing explores a controversial issue in depth. That's the idea of it. And you're going to use research and supporting evidence to sort of support your arguments and the points that you're making. Okay? Cool. I'm going through a PowerPoint here to remind me of what I want to say to you so I don't forget. When I say you don't have a choice, you do have a choice. Most of you, I think, will do the discursive choice. Discursive is very factual. It has a very balanced argument, so it looks at both sides of the argument. It's treated equally, and you build your arguments in strength, so you finish with your strongest argument. If you like facts and black and you think more kind of black and white, then discursive is more for you. But if you want to, you can do a persuasive piece of writing, and I'll put some work on to help support you do that. But you're not going to be doing the writing until after summer when we're back in school anyway, so don't worry about it. But persuasive is more of a rant. It's a one-sided. It's one-sided in the sense it only supports one side, but you do have what's called rebuttals in it, where you acknowledge that there are other arguments. So you still need to research and have arguments for both sides in order to do the persuasive. Persuasive uses certain techniques that you might remember from, gosh, S1 I think it was, when we did Save My Dog. The idea of the power of three, rhetorical questions, hyperbole, those kind of things. But we'll go into that more after the summer. At the moment, all you need to be thinking about, whether you're doing discursive or persuasive, is choosing a topic and doing some research, okay, and creating a plan. That's three things. The three things that you have to do, okay? So that's what we're going to do. When I say choose a controversial topic, it's got to be something that has both sides to the argument. You can't choose like child abuse, okay, because you would really struggle to argue that child abuse is a good thing, even if you use it in a rebuttal. So therefore it's got to be something that has both sides to it. We don't want you to be writing about abortion. We don't want you to be writing about smoking or school uniforms, because they're really dull and have been done to death. We're looking for you to find something that's more original, something that's maybe topical. So last year a lot of people wrote about Brexit and the impact on Shetland itself, fishing industries and such like. You might want to talk about something about Corona and how it's been handled. They're very topical at the moment, but you don't have to. It's absolutely up to you. And in order to do that, there are two sources that I've put in the description of the task in the Discursive Writing channel. One website is called Debatabase, and I've given you the link for that. And another is the complete issues that we have hard copies of in the library, but there's a whole online database as well. And within those, I've already had some people come to me and say, oh, I don't know what to do, help me. I'm like, well, have you looked at, I find it impossible to believe that if you've looked through both Debatabase and Complete Issues, you cannot find something that interests you at all, because there's just such a vast amount of topics in those two sources. Okay, so don't come to me saying that you can't find anything until you've done that. Yeah, I was going to say something then I forgot what it was. So topic, yes, it has to have two sides. Look online. So other sources that you might find information: newspapers, documentaries, YouTube documentaries or TV documentaries, BBC, Channel 4, good for those kind of things. You can quote from those. Books and magazines, as well as online sources. Obviously, most stuff will be online at the moment because of the situation that we're in. But it is really, really important that you record your sources. If you're using a website, copy and paste the whole web address. It's not enough to put Wikipedia or Google. You have to have the whole thing. Copy and paste it into a document and call it your bibliography. Find out how to spell it. It's in the task for discursive writing. It's really important because National 5 requires you, and there's a little box that you've got to tick on the front sheet that you send. It requires you to acknowledge the sources that you've used. It's also really good practice, because if you go on to, like, you'll have to do it at higher, if you go and do anything at university, whatever kind of course it is you're doing, you have to acknowledge the sources that you've used. Okay, so it's really important that we get into the habit of doing that now, because in 3 months' time, you won't remember. You absolutely won't, and you might not be able to find it again. Another good thing to put is accessed on. So if you find a website tomorrow that you think is fantastic, so you write accessed 30th of June 2020. Okay, it says that in the task as well. Okay, what else did I want to say? Oh yeah, in the files, there are 2 documents that will help you. There's one PowerPoint that is called, what's it called? Planning and Writing a Discursive Essay. It's a really good start. Gives you, kind of goes over the things that I've just said about a topic being controversial, balanced arguments, etc., etc. You're looking for 3 to 4 arguments for each side. Okay, it depends on how in-depth you go. You know that I like in-depth better, because in-depth means better marks. But you can have 3 to 4. I would definitely not have any less than 4 to start off with when you're doing the planning stage, because you need to see how much evidence and how much time it takes to write in, all that kind of stuff. So, yes, PowerPoint in the files called Planning and Writing a Discursive Essay. And there's also a PDF in there as well, which is called Discursive Essay Guide. Okay. So what else? All right. If you look at that one, there's quite a lot of overdone topics. Euthanasia, capital punishment. No, really boring. But yeah, have a look at that and try and come up with something original. It's got some suggestions of original topics on it as a PDF. Then it's got, I can't think of anything. And it gives you some more suggestions of places to look. TED Talks, a good place to maybe find something interesting and a little bit controversial. Have a look at that. Yeah, do not bother when you're getting both the PDF and the PowerPoint. Do not go into the preparing to write bit. It's not important. What you're doing at the moment is you're doing research and you are making notes. Okay, and you're going to do a plan. We'll do the writing when we get back after the summer. Good. Is there anything else I wanted to say? Yes, run your topic by me, please, before you spend months doing research on it. Just so I can check that it's suitable. That would be good. Save you a lot of work, maybe, and rather than be good. Really, it's not very good. Okay, so check with me your topic. Send me a wee email or a wee chat message, and I'll just say, yeah, that's a great idea. Good, go for it, or not, and give you some advice. I want you to have a plan when you come back after the summer holiday. Okay, you should be ready to write when you come back to school on the 11th of August. Okay, welcome to 4th year. Homework during holidays. Yes, good. I would ask at this point if we had any questions, but because I'm recording this, that won't work. So send me a message if you have any questions. Look at the task in the Discursive Writing channel, and enjoy your research. Finding out new and interesting things is fun. Okay, I'll speak to you soon. Bye.